system. It's not letting me link into my computer.
Gracious Heavenly Father, Lord God, we thank you for this glorious day. We thank you for your love, your grace, and your tender mercies. We thank you most of all for your Son who came to this earth and sacrificed his own life for our sins. We pray now, Heavenly Father, that you be with us as we have our meeting. Guide us and lead us. These things I pray in Jesus' precious name. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we will have the roll call. Commissioner Fleetwood.
Present.
Commissioner Key.
Here.
Commissioner Montgomery.
Here.
Mr. President, we have a quorum.
Excellent. Thank you. We'll move on to our approval of the minutes. This time I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from this meeting.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
A second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And on to the claims. I'll read the claims. Tax and insurance bills, $2,643.92. Payroll deductions, $166,372.75. Payroll, $355,537.45. CAW one, I should say, $44,249.26. CAW2, $41,449.62. Courts cost and ed plate distribution levy excess, $8,549.28. Excess refunds and ditch claims, $28,173.22. Spring settlement, $25,773,968.69. Surplus and excess refunds, innkeeper and lien, $23,452.80. County general, $38,903.03. Courts, $2,409.23. Highway, $43,043.95. Sheriff, $16,872. ACH, $99,893.70. CAW3, $12,255.60. And excess refunds and ditch claims for the amount of $3,311.30. I'll entertain a motion to approve those claims.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, sir. Also want at this time to acknowledge the treasurers and clerks report. I think we just need a simple acknowledgement from all commissioners.
Yes, I've seen.
I've seen it.
Very good. And I will concur. So thank you, sir. On to the department reports. Do we have any department heads with us this evening that would like to come on up and bring some items to our attention? Mr. Pond, welcome.
And I'm David Bond with the Gibson County EMS. This is in the month report for June. Okay, we had a total of 410 runs for the month. And it's broke down for 290 runs that we transferred. 140 ways for we did not transport. A couple of fires, standbys, 3 dead on arrival, and 1 out of state medicated. Support for the year bill, we had billed $1,605,295. Total year to date collected is $644,289.77. Percentage collected so far this year has been 39.4%. New accounts as of June was $294,878.80. And what we've collected out of that is $113,789.27. We paid for the write-off amount was $6,880, again, 68 cents, and then as far as the insurance adjustments was $40,400.20.
Thank you, Dave.
Make a motion to approve write-offs.
Got a motion
Second.
made. Got a
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, David.
Anything else?
Nope.
Thank you.
Waiting for that new ambulance, but
I'm sorry.
waiting for that new ambulance. but-
Who am I?
Any other department heads?
Hi, I'm Andrew Hayes, Health and Human Sciences educator and County Extension Director for Purdue Extension, Gibson County. And actually, we're excited to get our fair going, our 4-H part of the fair next week, and heading over there after this to help set up. So excited for that, but I'm here today to introduce our new Ag and Natural Resources educator, Megan Hollis. And so happy to have Megan join us. And I don't know if you wanted to say something. Obviously, I don't want to.
I'll keep it brief, but hi, I'm Megan Hollis. I'm the new Ag and Natural Resources educator for Gibson County. My husband and I just bought a home in Gibson County and moved here about a month ago. So I've been in this position since June 1st. My husband is originally from Gibson County, Andy Hollis. And so I'm really excited to be here, and we're hoping to put down some roots and bring some longevity to this position. Originally, I'm from Kentucky. My background is in dairy nutrition, but I grew up on a crop farm. My little area of Kentucky is very similar to Gibson County, so I feel right at home here. And I'm just really excited to get to know everybody, to meet some people during fair next week. I've already gotten several phone calls from community members. I think people are starting to know that I'm here, but that's great. So, yeah, I'm really excited to be here. I've got some business cards if anyone's interested in having my contact information. I'd be glad to leave some of that here for y'all. And yeah, so my phone number and my email address is here and our address as well. So feel free to email me, call me, or stop by and see us anytime. It's nice to meet you all. I'm really excited to be here.
Nice to meet you. Good luck.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and give you a card before you leave and take one of yours. Thank you.
Sure. I'll pass them around. Yeah, thank you so much. Sure.
Welcome to Gibson County.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
See y'all. Thanks. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much and good luck on a successful fair this year.
Yeah, we're excited. It's, boy, last year was rough, so we're excited to get back
Sure.
into it this year.
Yeah.
So I'm heading there now to help them set up. So thank you guys.
Oh, great, great. Thank you. Do we have anyone else wanting to come forward, department head side of it? Welcome, Mr. Holden.
Hello, you know, update on our county paving and community crossing grant, the bids around Dixie Road were accepted. I did get all documentation over to them, and they got me back to the verbal. They're looking into August before they start paving. So a little bit later than normal, but we did later. So, everything's still looking paperwork with the state, so I'm not too upset about it taking a little longer, because we have a better check from them. So, we'll have a bridge coming up for bid, in the next month. It's a bridge on 200 south of Oklahoma City. Is direct access to driving water over there, so we dealt with them a little bit. They kind of know it's coming, so don't know when. Trying to get it finished up. Lots of culvert projects. Most of the guys are out chip sealing right now, so I have some contract with culvert projects we're gonna do. That we're working on now. So they get a block culvert order for 550 south. It's close by 69. Block culvert is ordered. I got orders, they put that in there for 350 west. Down here, actually here already. So that's on the highway side, and then I'll give a report on the park. Austin has made major progress out there with the grant and the lakes done. They said do some seeding, some river and some small stuff. But they got in there and hammered it real hard. Had some decent weather. I was out there Sunday, and a little bit of rain we had there, starting to do some water pull down the bottom of it. Doesn't have a lot of drainage, so I expect it to a lot to go up, but piers report for the fishing pier, those reported in the last week. And then they're gonna be out, start framing, building the pier, this week, pouring concrete sidewalks this week, putting down the river mulch and playground this week. The bathroom facility is up, besides painted, we're having some problems with the, toilet and sink leak. Stuck on in, the back water on that's kind of rough, so we might have to put porcelain in for now, until it shows up. Field bed's in, water's hooked up, it's active. So it's coming along very well. They're finished it on that July 31st. And other than the toilet sink might have to be a temporary in there for now. I've seen their policy at that one. So, going well. So I got lots of stuff coming on, so if you have any questions for me.
No, just appreciate what you've been doing out there, supervising and looking over the park project and you mentioned roadways. I know I stopped in and just kind of touch base with a gentleman who lives over there in the western portion of our county, Mr. Byrne. And the reason I bring this story up is because, you know, we don't think that roads can really change someone's life, but they can in this instance. I talked to this older gentleman and his wife, she's had some health concerns and And he was really concerned about getting in and out and the kids coming in and out to their property. And anyhow, when I stopped in after our highway department and yourself had overseen this project of patching the roads and getting things straightened out there, I stopped in there and he was just, I mean, he had a glow about him over the road and being able to have access, and his kids being able to get in. So just thought I'd share that little story with you because you probably don't get too many of those stories, but it really probably made his year. I mean, I don't know what to say about that part of it, but it was a good story, and it was good to see us serving our Gibson County citizens in that capacity. So I really appreciate what you guys do. Good work. Do we have any other department heads that want to come forward and update us on any projects or anything?
Warren,
Yes,
Tim Bottoms called me that he's at kids camp this week for the sheriff's department. And to see if anybody's decided anything or discussion on the new equipment for the padded cell.
Just presented at the last.
Sure,
Mhm.
sure.
And it's a little over $6,800. I don't have the exact figure in front of me, but
Yeah.
I mean, he's, they need it, and I know what he's asking for. He wants us to put edit money towards it.
I know at some point we're going to have to deal with his funds too, right? I mean, he's kind of limited on funds.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of
He's-
time.
Well, he's had a couple major things and
Yeah.
that, but he just needs to know how, to move forward on this.
I think I would recommend that he continue to utilize his budgeted money, but with the understanding that we're going to have to help him out in the
Right.
near future.
Yeah, because that's all he gets for the year.
He's running
Yeah.
out of money, yeah.
So, I mean, we can let him know, go with your budget and then we'll go from there on the next one. Because I can pretty much guarantee you we'll have a next one.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming.
Well, I mean, the thing that hit him the hardest, they had to replace that hot water heater, and that hit that budget really hard. So,
I'm open to suggestions, but that would probably be my immediate answer is just to go ahead and utilize the budget and then with the understanding that we're going to have to help him out on the long end of it,
Yeah.
unless someone else has a better idea.
I know the last time he said his budget was really getting down.
oh, it is.
So-
He's gotten hit a couple major times.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll pass that on to him.
Okay.
Thank you. Moving on to our old business, Gibson County Detention Center update. Mr. Sanders?
Yes, I'm gonna give you an idea of what's been going on. Here's what I'm going to say. is in here.
Thank you, Byron.
I'll give Jason a copy already.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, a lot's been going on with the detention center work. One of the things that we're working on, it seems like maybe it's been stalled, but we really tried to diligently look at how we could use the existing site. So we have had the architect work and give us as many options as possible. They've at least came forward with at least 6 options of how the needs for the new jail, and they've established these needs from meetings with the sheriff and the sheriff's staff regarding, number of beds, the size of the capacity for staffing and program rooms, interview rooms, road patrol, and so on. So they took those square footage needs and tried to see how they could fit it on the property. Now, they looked at properties not only on the block itself where the current jail sits, but I think there was some pieces of property over on the northeast corner of Prince and Brumfield. There's property on the south side of Emerson. Looked at all those options. Even looked at, how much easier would it be if we could get maybe this piece of property or that piece of property. And we had an open public meeting and shared those options, talked about them, and there's a working session. And by and large, the steering committee, which is Jason Spinner, Warren Fleetwood, and Jeremy Overton, pushed back, on items that, can we be as cost effective as possible? Obviously, we don't want to have to purchase any properties. We want to build a new jail and not disrupt the current jail's operations and let it stay as intact and not hopscotch around. Make it as constructible as we could for a general contractor to come in and work straight through and not have to stop. So, went back and took those suggestions and recommendations and came up with a site option, presented it to the steering committee where we met all those demands. We don't need to buy any additional parcels. It's gonna stay within the current quadrant of that block. We're not going to disrupt the current jail operations, and we're looking at building it, where the community corrections is and going north and then down the alley south of the monument. I would be glad to put up a drawing, but this isn't, this might not be exactly, the footprint is there. But don't take any of this that's the footprint. But now we're gonna get back, that we've got a site that works. We're gonna get back to the sheriff and his team. And we're gonna say, okay, the pod is pretty well. This is where your inmates, your 203 bed inmate pod is gonna set. Do you want your kitchen here, your cafeteria here? Let's talk about, is this enough space for your staff? Is this enough space for your road patrol, your investigations? The number of padded cells, how many padded cells we need, medical and so on. So we're gonna take that footprint and now manipulate it so it fits a design sheriff agrees with, it fits on the site. And I hope to have that to show to the commissioners, maybe at the next meeting, as early as that, we can get our meetings in place. If not, by the end of the month and then towards August, but we got to move very quickly. I know we say that the completion date that we're mandated to meet as per the class action federal lawsuit is June of 2023. And anybody can go, well, man, that's a long way off, but it's really not. We don't get some things done even by October 1st, ordering some long lead time items, we can jeopardize that date. But I don't have a lot of fear. We're getting ahead. We've had soil borings are being the site public utilities are spray painted where the underground utilities are, so we can do soil borings, so we can see the integrity of the soil, what kind of foundation. So we don't have to have. Everybody's heard we're on a line from a sand trap or whatever the case may be, but we're gonna find it for sure and make sure we have the foundation work worked out. We do professional site survey so we can make sure we're firm on the easements and we're well in the easements as we see them now. We may even ask for a variance so we can, get a little more space between the buildings and so on. So that is what's been going on with the design. Then once we can get back to the sheriff, and this looks like a plan, we're not going to get down to where the doors are located or where the cameras are located. That's going to be design development for a bid package. But we should have a drawing done hopefully this month that we can have priced. We'll really know what we can price. We'll know the foundations, what kind of foundation are we going to have, piles or slabs or whatever the case may be. So I'm hoping to have this order of magnitude budget by the end of July. And we've been talking around about how much we need to keep it. I feel we're still good. I feel we're on the target that we need to establish, but we need to know that for sure. So we can talk to you and the council, say, really, this is what we feel plus or minus 20% order of magnitude cost. Now we're going to look at the actual material we're going to use to see pricing for that. So that's the design process. And I'm going to keep this going. Probably every 2 weeks at least, we're going to have things that happen. So with that, the next thing was the construction management firm selection process, which has been critical. I'll do a real quick briefing. In our last meeting, I outlined the process of the selection process and how we're going to go. Started back in May the 3rd. I received your approval to proceed with the construction management delivery method. Looked at 10 firms, 3 firms, very vital firms, qualified firms responded. We had Shield Sexton, who is actually the construction manager on the Marion County Jail project right now. Shireman, who is construction manager on the Du Bois project, that's going very well. And we have Vermont, who 2 jail projects in Hancock County and Hendricks County, as well as a strong history. So got a very qualified group. And at that, we solicited actually RFPs and had them respond to our questions and our, requirements. They responded, and we received our RFPs. Here they are. If anybody wants to read them, some of them are 99 pages long, but we scrutinized those, made sure they answered the questions properly. I mean, that shows the professionalism with these groups and seriousness with which these groups took this. They submitted their RFPs. And then in turn, we went to the next step to see, is there anything in here that really scares us or shocks us or says, would any of these groups be disqualified because of insurance capability, buying capacities and things such as that. And it gave us a good introduction. We then set up interviews with each of the firms, and each firm presented, basically they presented, here's what we'd like to see in your presentation, and then we had each of our selection committee have a private individual interview, so they had to ask their specific questions. And they weren't in the room with each other, the selection committee. So they really, I felt, was not influenced by anybody, each other. We had a ranking criteria that was based on the CMC, which firm demonstrated the best understanding of the CM, construction manager, delivery process, which one had the most experience, which one had a fee and a cost structure that gave us the best price for the service provided and the skills associated. In the construction management concept, they are going to give us a guaranteed maximum price as we get through the project. And once that is established and agreed upon, which would be within the budget that we're going to establish, they have to hit that. Which one of them understand that fully and help us feel that they can deliver against that with a pretty volatile market right now, that's more on construction. Schedule is critical. They all say that they will guarantee the schedule, but I said, well, what's your guarantee? Because really, if we don't meet it, we could be breach of a contract, we could be penalized. There are things that could, the county would really have some pain if we don't meet the date. So, what's your stake in this game? What's your skill in it? Would you let us liquidate the damages in your contract? Penalties or fines or such as that. We look at the Delta in the type staff. We want your 18. Who are the people that are going to work on this project? And we want to know those people. We don't want, if you got too much work going on and you get, and a lot of the groups that didn't respond because they got so much work going on, they didn't want to compromise their resources and their staff. So we went through the interview process, and each individual selection committee member ranked each group independently and confidentially, submitted that information. I collated, I was just a facilitator, did not vote. And we had a consensus meeting, which again, the public provided. And here we talked about these the pluses and minuses. There was a couple of things I felt we needed to go back and get a little more insurance on, and we pushed on the pricing to get a little bit better for it. And we accomplished all those goals. And with that said, the unanimous scoring and the decision by the steering committee was that we recommend that Vermont Construction Services be the construction manager going forward. Would welcome your either vote to do that or not. And once we get to see them on board, we're going to, and hopefully it will enhance the cost-effective decisions. We will get more of a view on constructability and the schedule, which is the best track. And then, of course, we'll keep the courts updated for next steps. And we're going to sit down and put together a critical path. We have to get done to meet this date. We have to have the project ready to get. We have a board of the building of the station. Hit that. Try to make that as quick and as concise and as informative as I can. But if there's any questions, welcome those.
I've read through all those. I've got a copy of them in my office. And the Garmog is by far the one I would have picked. I mean, they work with RQAW all the time, and they work good together, so.
Yeah, and they work with LLIs
Yeah.
on projects, so that was another one of the firms that was pretty close to architecture. I think they're, one thing, I mean, the their leverage with local contractors. I mean, local contractors are gonna have to push on this project, and if you're only prime time, you're gonna work for this construction managers on this project, and they're in Indianapolis and things like that. I think that regional connectivity that they have here is, I think, gonna help us get an intervention. I'm not gonna give a number, but they were significantly more cost effective than.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you said they're one that has 2 projects going right now. I mean, my pick was Sharman, but that's obviously mine, it's neither here nor there. So, I mean,
They're in Hendricks County and Hancock County, and they're.
which is in Indianapolis.
Yeah, and that's another, they have a local regional office.
Yeah.
And the team that's gonna work on that is a local team that has done, Posey, they did, their team that did, Green County. So they would just work here. We're not getting competition with their resources in Hancock and Hendricks County. Yeah, they do have this going, those kinds of, we won't share that team. Good point, though, Mary.
I felt like we had three really competent, strong groups vying for this project. I still feel that way about it. I think, you know, in regards to like expansion, and hopefully this will never come about. But I also, you know, going back to my days, my dad teaching me to mechanics and working on houses and all that great stuff. You know, you always build things and put things together with the idea that you may have to come back, right, and work on something, or you may have to fix something. We go as far as to mark lines and just know where everything's at. And as I look at these different scenarios, one thing that stood out to me as a plus is the ability to expand on this campus.
Yes.
Should we ever need to expand, and I really pray that we don't. But you just never know where the future is going to take you. But I feel like the expansion is a big plus with this project. I also think the liquidation fees were strong. I mean, we were pretty tough on these guys in regards to that. We had some pretty, I won't say heated discussions, but some pretty intense discussions about what are you going to do if you run over timeline, and don't expect the county to foot the bill if you're running over, kind of discussions. And
How much skin in the game.
right.
I mean, we're such, you got to step it out. One that I liked more was we asked, it's a GMP price, guaranteed maximum price, but what if we fall under? What if we save money on this project? And Darmon was the only one that agreed to give the county 100% of the savings. Some of the firms want to split, which I'm not complaining with that, but we maximize that opportunity. We can fall under the GMP, we get 100% of the savings, and it's an open book. It's an open book project. We see the bills, we see the pricing, we see the whole thing.
I felt like we were pretty tough on the budget too.
Yeah.
Asked them to stick to that budget, if not adjust
No.
and bring it down, right? So
Let us make the decision if there's between this, that we have to have a project that is submitted to this budget. Minimize the bells and whistles, and if there's a bell and whistle you want to add to this, let us make that decision. Not an architect, that's how they're trying to, this is not gonna be an architecture competition, but I think it's gonna be one of the nicest facilities. We're very cognizant of the fact it's downtown, not stuck elsewhere. We want to be one of the nicest hearing facilities, buildings in the downtown area for the local community. So I think it'll be ahead of the game.
Now, this basic design, it's within the parameters of the sheriff wanting it on one level.
It'll be, except for the jail pod, which it'll be a 2-tier.
Well,
But
that's all one. I mean,
right, we're the sheriff and staff.
access is one level.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Let's see how you can do it within, but that's okay.
Well, we're gonna search that. We'll develop that. But yeah, the access, the toilet, or the inmate coming in the building, ground level, go through that, go into the jail pod. Jail pod itself is will be a 2-tier, which is standard. And cafeteria service, laundry. We may do this on the investigation on 2nd tier above the administration center, but it's in access. The sheriff's talking about needing space for road patrols and investigations, but that's gonna be developed with the sheriff, so. With that, I'd like to see if you would.
Very good. Very good.
Go with that recommendation.
Okay, at this time, I would ask for a motion to approve Garmon as our construction manager for the jail Gibson County Detention Center project.
I'll make that motion.
I'm not gonna second because they were not my choice, personal choice.
That's fair. I'll second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays?
Nay.
One nay. Again, I think all three groups are really good groups and
Oh, I read all their information and that. And I don't have anything against Garmon. I just preferred the other one, and that's why I voted as I did.
So Sherman comments, they were great, and they were really a wonderful letter about their opportunity and very, very professional. I think one of the things that they didn't have a software program that at any point in time, the other two did, where it's a program that will show, you could look on it anytime, see the schedule, see what's going on, see even live action cameras of what's going on. We thought we could tie that into a communication link for, the public and so on. There was some little upscale things like that. And they admitted that they hadn't invested in that yet, but they keep busy and do what they do, and they're doing a good job at voice. But no, there wasn't a bad one. So it's just kind of like a resource. Sometimes you have to verbal. I don't think we could have gone too far wrong. I mean, I wouldn't have recommended one that I would have told you I couldn't work with this from. And I darkly same way. Is there anybody you wouldn't work with? None. So appreciate that. I take that with 100%. But we agree to move forward with Vermont.
yes, sir. Thank you, Byron.
Mr. Fleetwood, since I've got to leave, can we shift the resolution up on the agenda?
Certainly.
What resolution number would this be? Mike, do you know?
You've been assigning those. I'm not sure what it is.
We'll assign it a number after tonight's meeting, but this essentially allows us to, there's an executive order that has been extended numerous times. Right now, it's scheduled to expire July 31st. And that executive order currently allows for attendance in public meetings by board members electronically. To do it beyond when it expires, which again is scheduled for July 31st, we've got to have a resolution. That's what this resolution accomplishes. So I would ask, if there's no discussion, I'd ask for approval of this resolution.
You sent this to us and read through it, and everybody's so used to being able to, be able to do that. And there's still health concerns for a lot of people. So I'll make a motion.
Second.
Excuse me. Signify by saying aye.
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 And then also on the agenda, new business, I think it's item number 3, spending plan for American Rescue Funds. I can provide a little information on that. You may have additional discussion among yourselves, but Debbie emailed me and she said we have until 2024 to complete the plan. I just emailed her to confirm that the composition of the committee elsewhere is typically a commissioner, a council member, and then other members from the community. And she did confirm that. She says we'll need to have some public hearings as well. So you can put together a committee tonight or probably start thinking about it and maybe act upon that at the next meeting. And
Very good.
I'd ask to be excused.
Yes, definitely. You are excused and have a good evening.
I may be back. Depends on how long this takes.
All right.
Well, I hope neither meeting's that. I hope yours next one isn't that short, that ours is that long.
Be safe.
And Jason, just sign any of these
Yeah.
for mine, okay,
Mike email me, please.
And we can use mine or any of them. That makes me no difference.
well, doesn't matter, they're all the same, so,
Don't need to start one.
yeah, that's fine.
Mr. Holden, would you like to come forward and discuss the projects you have for us?
The first one I have is crack seal tip request, so, we've had meetings, met with all three commissioners, looking at projects and things going on. One problem we found that's becoming very large, very quickly, is, around Toyota, Phil Street, like, there, like, 100 East, 350 South, basically loop around Toyota. There's lots of cracks that are opening up wide, that's gonna deteriorate very quickly. Water gets inside of them. We're seeing that the last year, they've expanded tremendously. What I'm asking for is, commissioners to go forth to the development commission. To ask them for, $200,000 to, crack seal and maybe even a little more. We were out looking for it in the day, and there's several of these cracks that have deteriorated back, in each direction, not crumbling, falling apart yet. They are cracking out wider, and we're looking at possibly doing some mastic fill. When you drive across them, hitting fill pretty hard. With those being impacted like that, they're going to deteriorate quicker.
Right.
So this is a crack seal for the maintenance, salvage it for a couple of years, type thing, with the hopes of coming after a much larger project of structural overlay of the road around Toyota. Kind of looking to the future, the possibility of it being finished in 2025. We're looking at salvaging it towards the end of it, and then go after something that's gonna last another 20 years. Currently, to maintain the road around Toyotas, having 5 lanes, it would take all the county normal paving money, pretty much almost half of it every 10 years to maintain that to a level, a high level. So this is just a crack seal, like I said, it's coming all the way across the overpass on 550 going towards UTEC. Most of that's concrete, which concrete has joints in it and need to be maintained. But this is get it through a couple more years until we can look at a bigger project. It definitely needs to be done. I definitely think drive out, look out, especially on Tulip Tree, which parallels Highway 41, down towards the south end of it. There's some cracks that are really deteriorating pretty bad. So that's what I'm asking Commissioner on the crack seal. So you guys know each township getting roughly $60,000 this year for the maintenance. So this would take most, let's see, there's only 2 townships there, Patoka and Union, that falls into, that'd be $120,000. It would take another township. So it would take 30% of our maintenance money in the county just for these roads around Toyota. So that's the reason for going for TIF funding, because it would definitely hurt the rest of the county, trying to take care of it locally with the highway department funding.
And to be clear, Tulip Tree Drive is a county road.
They're all county roads.
And
350 South, 100 East, 525 South, 550 South. These are all county maintained roads. They're not
Most traveled roads outside 41.
Yes.
And that's what the TIF was created for, was this type of thing.
I met with,
As long as there's no reason why.
Right.
It could be used inside the TIF districts. I don't know any reason why this could be used for that.
I met with some esteemed members of Toyota and talked about some of these issues. And I told them, I said, and this is just me speaking, not any other commissioner, but I told them that I'm very supportive of Toyota, the industry, as well as other industries in our county. And I told them that our commitment, I do believe, is to maintaining the county roads. So this is one of those projects that I really don't have an issue with because it is a county road. But at this time, I would entertain a motion to move this forward to the
Also
redevelopment
move.
commission.
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 The next item I have is the bridge inspection consultant, that's for years 2020 through 2025. On that, we submitted RFP proposal Those come in, each of the 3 commissioners, 4 of the consultants. They get them back to me, it's a weighted scoring. Take those, tabulate them, send them to the state, and they go back to approval. They did approve your scoring, United Consulting to have that contract. Now we go in negotiation for the contract and pricing and all that stuff. This is a several month project to get through. This is 80-20 funded, 80% federal, 20% local, for our inspection contracts. So I was kind of letting you guys know where it all came out, so they did approve your guys' scoring. So, yeah, it's only getting that for the next 4 years. The next one is just, I had a phone call, about County Road 450 South. That is between 1000 West and 950 West, just north of Johnson. Asking us speed limits to be, speed limit to look out there, and I'm posted right now. So it's posted.
It's not posted right now.
No, so I've been posted now. I'm asking for the sheriff to go ahead and give us a recommendation on going out there for that purpose, since they called in several times actually. We have done some road upgrades out there, taking a gravel road to Mills, chip seal, just east of there. I think they're starting to see even more of the traffic speed pick up due to that too. So I can do that. Any questions? Any questions? No. And other than that, I'm good till later down the list.
All right, thank you very much. Next up on the agenda, Margot English, TIF request purchase of a parish building.
I'm not really sure why I'm on the agenda. I thought we were going to entertain this the next time. Further later.
You sent me an email, Margot, that's why you're on the agenda.
I sent you an email asking about the council. I thought you worked for the council too. So.
No, council has nothing to do with the TIF money.
No, I asked, but I know that, I understand that. It was totally different. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's a TIF request, so it goes to board of commissioners, I'm sorry. I misunderstand.
We'll scratch it. We'll scratch it.
Margot, you don't have that, my canvas, the council agenda.
I've got you on for the
Thank you, appreciate that.
council meeting.
I just want to take a moment and share with everyone a letter we received. I just thought this was very honorable from the Senior Center Group, Seniors of Gibson County, Julia Rahman, Executive Director. But this was addressed to all 3 commissioners and our attorney, and it reads: the seniors, board of directors, employees, and volunteers at the Center for Seniors of Gibson County. I want to thank you for your work in getting the funding to replace the HVAC at the center. We had an urgent situation and you all helped to fund such an important project for the seniors of Gibson County. It's so important to care about the quality of life of the seniors, and we appreciate your attention in helping with this. We hope to continue the activities, meals, food bank, health services, and transportation that we do here at the center. Once again, thank you and look forward to working with all of you in the future. And so appreciate their thanks and their letter. And if you know of anyone who utilizes that senior center project, it's a great facility. I actually hope we can do something else for them in the future. They were wanting a paving project too. And so I'm hoping that we can reach out to those folks and help them with that later on down the road if the monies are available. So, I appreciate everyone involved in that in our community. Commissioners, new business, fuel contract bids.
That was voted on the last meeting, so I don't know why.
Carry over or
Put it
anything?
on there.
Okay.
I didn't know if Grace-
We've already did the meeting
I'll
order.
scratch that. If he returns, we'll ask him about it and see if there's any like carryover or anything. Okay. We covered our remote meetings ordinance. Kenny mentioned there.
This is what month they've been fined, I don't know.
Okay. Capital Predictor Software, Matt Holden.
The last bit, some time with each of you, normal the software and some stuff you guys, especially what it does, and they give us some presentations, some stuff, I call it watch them. But this is the software that'll take our road network system. So every year for community crossing grant, you eligible to submit an asset management plan, which is every road section listed that we're responsible for in the county. It's a rating. It talks about, how it's grading or what work we did. It's updated continuously. So it takes that data and puts it into a software platform that will allow me to, hey, here's our budget scenario, because we're different than every kind of different with how we split the funds and everything we have available. And it will give me an output based on no human, opinion on where we should be paying, where we should be using our money the best. It allows me to take and say, well, I want to go do these roads because of people complaining, anything like that. And it'll cruise out, and it'll show me, what's it's going to do to our road for 10 years from now. We're currently using what's called Micropaver. It's developed by Corps of Engineers, but it's a very Corps of Engineers program. It's developed for airports. It wasn't developed for county highway systems, and it's numbers. There's no charts, there's no outputs of, I can't print much out and show anybody what I can see in the numbers. It's real hard for me to sit down with anybody and explain with a binder this thick with numbers everywhere on what this thing's actually showing us. So, it's been used and it's been okay. The capital director software is much user friendly. The outputs of it will be a lot better for guys, commissioners, public, and look and see, actually have a map that shows, color coded map we produced where the roads are, red being bad, green being good. But I looked into 3 or 4 different software programs of this kind, because it's with 914 miles of road. It's real hard to get your head wrapped around what's going on. It is. And we made what we were using work, and we were trying to make it work. But the presentations and stuff that they give, the initial start of this is pretty expensive because they're going to take all of our Excel data and put it in, set up all the platform where I'm not going to spend the next 6 months doing it alone. It's going to be, a lot of stuff done by them to get us up and rolling. One reason I really like this is to have legislation go through that our asset management plans will be available to the public through the NDOT website starting next year, I believe. So having understandable data should help us out quite a bit too. There'll be a website available for every municipality, county in the state where anybody get on and look and see how the plan is. And understanding that plan is probably pretty important. So this program, they go a lot deeper than what we're looking at right now. There's the availability of having, drainage included in this also, utilities. Utilities become more and more problems every day with crossings and road being tore up and settlement and water, sewer, fiber, everything just can be added into it to kind of keep an eye on those things. I like to use electronic, snapshot in time of how we're doing. 10 years from now, we're going to see how well this chip seal actually work. Is it doing what we thought it was supposed to do? How well is it 1.5 inch overlay, 2 inch overlay, 3 inch? All the different things we're trying and doing. We'll be able to tell how long does this stuff last as long as what we're being told or believe it is. So having that data for the long term is pretty important. For myself and anybody after me and commissioners later and everything, to have that stuff to be able to show and do to keep maintaining the roads. I like it because I can take and say my budget's $1 million and, we go into budget meetings and council's talking, everybody's talking, well, let's cut it in half for this project. I can punch in that number and say that $500,000 you take away this year is going to cost us $6 million in 10 years. Because maintaining the roads continuously is what makes sense. So I'm looking at not just, what roads should we be paving this year, but why we need to keep the funding we have available or get more funding or fight for the funding during budget time. So this on my end is pretty big. It'd be very big to help me keep things going and explain, at $500,000 we got cut this year, it's gonna cost us X dollars 10 years from now. So, guess I'm asking for commissioners approval on this, I'll run through the numbers. getting kind of creative on the funding for this because there is currently an engineering equipment budget edit. $20,000 a year. We get some of it on my AutoCAD software. So their first year was. So the first year that's setting everything up, getting the platform going, this includes several days of training for me. $19,400, under the $20,000 we had, we spent some of it. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna bill us what we have left in there, the 17,000, 17. There's whatever's left in engineering, there's gonna be there's not enough in the engineering equipment budget to cover it, so that there's gonna be a bill January 1, because we push that off until January, so we pay the rest of it, $1,667.34 will be billed in January. So they work with us quite a bit on making it work with the money we have available for this year.
How much would you need right now? Do you have that figure worked out?
19,400 minus the 16.
But it's like
17,000.
17, almost $18,000, somewhere in that neighborhood, 17 and a half, something like that.
And I have.
Michael's got his phone out.
I've been over a month, okay, I don't think we'll spend out of it, that money's in the budget. I usually don't spend all of it normally a year. But this program, I'm willing to give it up for the year to get it started and going. Yeah, 19,400 minus 1,667.34.
$17,732.66.
That should zero the engineering budget.
732, and you said 16 cents,
66.
66 cents.
17732.66.
Got it.
Is there yearly updates on this map too?
Yeah. Yearly, the first year of the renewal is 77,26.99. That's because every year, once we go in and pay, all those road segments get pumped over, dumped in. You know, if you pay the road, it goes to 10, chip seal road goes up 3 points, and then they rebalance everything, and then we'll develop our own federation curve that shows, you know, a chip seal road, you know, goes from 8 to, you know, drop 1 point per year. So there's a lot of inputs back in every single year, to keep it updated, keep it going, keep it accurate. So.
I like this comprehensive approach and how it puts all the roads on a lifeline, if you will, or that's good.
Like I said, the micro parallelism that I was using, it's just, the outputs are basically just bulk numbers, it's numbers. It's a road segment, this, and then you gotta go find where that road segment is. And as John knows, where give 2307 is, it's kind of hard to find sometimes. So, the visual basic stuff, and then, you know, council, especially, you know, anytime they're gonna want to take edit money from paving to go do something, I'll apply for it.
Sure.
I want to keep the money, I want to keep the money, I want to be able to show that, you know, I can put in there, our roads are 74, what do I need to spend to stay at 74? And it'll output that number, that for the next 10 years, I need X dollars. This is what I need to keep the roads, and I can use that every time council member calls, hey, this road needs fixed, and we're like, we don't have the money. You know, it's pretty complicated. It's gonna be my argument to keep funding going and develop a plan every year. This one does allow me to put AEDs in, so as I have daily traffic. So a higher traffic road is gonna become higher probability if I allow the program to do it. And we try to, you know, right now, we can't do that in micro paver. We get a list of roads, and they may have us paving, protecting a road that gets 7 vehicles a day. But we have a road that's right below it that's getting 7,000 vehicles a day. We have to kind of mentally go through that.
Right.
And figure all that out. So. Anyway.
So it does a really good job of prioritizing roads too, and based on which ones get the most travel.
you know, all the different kind of pavings we do, chip seal, crack seal, and then we've done any crack seal in the county at a high volume, at this point.
I noticed it offered numerous solutions, whether it be chip seal or new pavement, or it wasn't just offering pavement for everything. It offered a lot of solutions and maintenance and seemed to be, like I say, pretty comprehensive software. Cost wise compared to the one you're using now, is it a lot higher or, I mean,
We're writing on this in the NPO. I can't remember what we paid for the user of that. I know we were partially a grant through TransMap. I know we paid $20,000 the first year of
it's
that one.
comparable.
So, yeah, and that was under a grant where the state paid for. That wasn't just the program, it was some other stuff.
Really?
You know, fly over the road and stuff. But everything I'm looking at, seeing guys.
Okay. At this time, I'd ask for a motion to approve the $17,732.66 needed for this year, and then the remaining amount to be paid in January or the following year.
Also move.
Second.
A motion made in a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Do you need anything else from us? Okay. Thank you very much. And I want to kind of revert back to something we'd already talked about a little earlier with the spending plan for the American Rescue Funds. Have we received our first installment or gotten word of the first installment yet?
We haven't received anything yet.
Okay,
Well, the first was supposed to come in mid-May, so they're still on time as far as federal government goes.
good point, Mary. And for those that may not know, we were awarded 6.53 million, and we were supposed to receive 50% of that. And like Mary says, it's probably right on course for federal timeline. Yeah, good point. Next up, Water Tower Subdivision, Cheryl Carter. If you'll come forward, please.
I'm Joyce Wolfbacher, Cheryl is ill, so she couldn't make it.
Mr. Carter is with us, though.
Yes.
Welcome all, welcome.
Yeah, so we're here, we've had a lot of discussion about roads. We're here for the Water Tower subdivision, which is located in Hillstar. Wondering about what kind of timeline there is on upkeeping our roads. They have deteriorated quite a bit with the winter, past couple winters, and we still continue to have new construction. So concrete cuts obviously get wear and tear on it. So we were just wanting to see what the plan was on getting more repaired to hopefully keep from anything major down the road. Because there's not street signs yet, neither stop signs for in and out of the subdivision. So we just wanted to see what kind of plan the county has for that. I'm fairly new to all this stuff, so here Matt talk about roads and stuff.
Sure.
So probably just kind of a broken record here.
Well, and I'll probably end up asking you some questions you've heard from former commissioners, so I apologize up front. It's just, I'm kind of new to this format myself, and I want to make sure that I'm respectful of what you're asking for and know everything. So if I give you questions that you've already been asked for, my apologies. Yeah.
I'll do the best.
But you did mention you don't even have street signs out there, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do you know, I'm assuming, which a person really never should do, right? So, but I'm thinking this place has only been paid one time, and that was when it was
Correct.
built.
It was developed in 1997. So
Okay.
I've been there since 2004. The back part was paved by the developers as new houses came up back there, but they didn't do anything to it.
And I read back through some previous commissioners' meetings minutes before I was on the commissioners, and it appears that the former commissioners, and Mary was there too, but the former commissioners and Mrs. Key here, they approved it in November. And actually, I take it back. Mary, I have to apologize because I don't think you were in attendance at meeting for probably a good reason, but I think it was a 2-0 vote. So you weren't even, we can't even Hey, I can't even rely on Mary to help us with the information there, but
I can tell you why I was there. If it was a good reason, I tell you that. I don't miss many
I don't
meetings.
want to pry, Mary. I don't want to pry. It's-
Well, that's November, last November. Don't ask.
Bad month. We won't go there.
Aren't you lucky your other meeting got over?
Bad month. We won't even go there. So it was approved. The county accepted your subdivision. And in all fairness to the subject at hand, it's my understanding that we normally accept these subdivisions when they've been brought up to county standards. But in this particular case, it was not brought up to county standards. And you folks were in some desperate need of repairs. What are the repairs that you need out there? And I've driven it. I've actually walked those streets, but
Okay.
if you don't mind just sharing.
Yeah, that's what we were gonna ask, to see if you willing to come out to look. I do have some pictures I've taken if you want them.
Yeah, it's tonight's agenda.
You brought some, I'm gonna look at them. Sure, sure.
Now, this is Hobstown.
Yes, it's, we're, close to 1200 south, just west of the town limit.
I've been out there. I've seen them. Yeah.
See the potholes and the.
Yeah, yeah.
Just a lot of patches is what I'm seeing.
Well, yeah, a lot of stuff that should have been taken care of by the subdivision that was not, and now it's on our backs.
You have some nice
To
looking.
put it
curbs out
nicely.
there. Give you that.
We're not asking for curbs.
Yeah, Curbs look
I
fine.
got that.
Okay. I'm gonna share that with Mary too. Or-
I've been out there.
Oh, had you? Okay.
Just kind of a pointed question, but I'm using this because it might help us on the funding end of it. Should we have to go out there and do some work here in the immediate future? And it appears that this thing is needing some attention. Do you have any Toyota employees that live in your community? Think long and hard about that. I'm just curious, do you have any TMMI employees?
So he's retired from there, so I guess.
Oh, great, great.
Supervisor.
Great. Do you have any other folks, or maybe you could, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot, maybe you'd need to ask around a little on.
Yeah. There's, I know of at least two or, at least 2 or 3. We currently have 29 homeowners back there. 2 are currently being built now, and then 2 have been completed in the past year. They're nice homes. I mean,
Yes, it's a nice subdivision. Very nice subdivision. You folks have been very patient, and I don't want to put you off in any way, shape, or form. Would it be understandable if we were to look into some funding avenues for this project?
Oh, definitely.
And then maybe have you return at a later meeting? So we're not really tabling it even, we're asking you to give us some time to look into some funding avenues.
Totally understand.
Oh,
Now,
well,
this going out toward Hunter's Crossing?
Yes, and then it's on
Okay.
the right, there's Disney Lane.
Yeah.
First, and then ours is next. We did have a signage, but that was for now when the one lot was sold there on the corner. So there's no street sign, I was gonna be there, so,
you really need some street signs. And you're within the Hopstock 2-mile radius?
yes. Yeah. Outside of town, is that what you mean, town limits?
Hopstock has a 2-mile radius. That's not really their corporate limits per se, but everyone within that 2-mile radius has to, shall we say, comply with some of their guidelines or restrictions and whatnot. So I was just curious if maybe the good folks at the town of Hopstock could help you out on the signage part of it. I would think they'd be good to deal with. I really do.
I can ask that, yeah.
Check on that, and then we're gonna check on some avenues of funding for these streets.
Okay,
Maybe we can put our heads together and help you folks out.
okay. Yeah, anything would be appreciated.
And you're not, I don't think by any means you're the only one in this situation. I think we have
Oh, yeah.
2 or 3 other subdivisions that were sort of accepted at the last minute
Okay,
and not up to county standard. And you know, I mean, no need to revisit the past, but we have to deal with it in the present, so. Other commissioners, I'll be quiet. Those are just my thoughts.
Well, I mean, I hate to put it this way, last to come on to the county inventory. So I mean, we have limited funds, as you've heard Matt say, and we've said it time and time again, it's a matter of being able to prioritize and try to get things done. And and the thing is you don't want to drop I totally understand where you're coming from. You don't want to drop your maintenance so that you got the same thing here. And, so it's a matter of getting it worked into the schedule and everything in the right order. And I can't tell you that, me, myself and I, because I'm not on the roads daily as far as, maintenance and everything goes.
When Warren read the letter from the county resident with the goal on their face, I know there'd be a lot of goals in our faces. Something could be done.
I'm sure.
You know how it is.
Sure do.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Road you drive in every day, and Kevin has taken a lot of time and just patch stuff on his own, so we have been very appreciative of that, but.
Mhm.
Anything you can do?
Well, I mean,
Appreciate it.
where I live is outside. It's not a county road, not a city road. And been doing maintenance on it since 1976. So I just put some rock out this spring. So I know what you're talking about,
Well, we appreciate your presentation,
So
and
do you get in touch with us?
I'm gonna give you, okay, you're good. Okay, so
We needed to contact.
I need your contact information before you leave, if you don't mind writing that down on paper for me. And we'll look into it. And I think Mary hinted to the fact that we do have, a great deal of roads to maintain. And we have a list. We even have software, as you heard earlier, that helps us to establish that list. So it may be one of those things that if we as commissioners can't find some creative avenue for funding, then we may refer you to the list, and put you on that list for maintenance or improvement or new paving. But let's give it an old college try and see if we can find something creative to help you.
Okay.
And just keep your fingers crossed, all right? Because none of us ever have a magic wand, I promise. All right.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming in. Moving on down the list here, the Wheeling and Severance Bridge. And we have Mrs. Marilyn West here. So Mrs. West, John Severance, when he arrived here in 1789 and was running a ferry business, I love history. I'm guessing he never thought we'd have to maintain a bridge in his name, but here we are. Here we are, 1789 to today. Okay.
Yeah, that's really some neat history there. I am Marilyn West, and my husband and I, Dennis, we have volunteered on the bridges for the last 4 years. And we are new to all of this. This is my first meeting. The only commissioner we've ever worked with is Steve Bonnens. And we had a procedure there. We would contact Steve Bonnens. He would get in touch with the person we know, and it was Chuck. It's all changed now, or Eric. So I reached out to my commissioner, and I got no response from you, Ken. I'm sorry. I sent you a message.
Yeah.
In Messenger.
And I called
Sent you
Brant.
the pictures.
Yeah.
Of the graffiti.
Right.
Which has been a big ordeal, and no response. My husband's a little upset with this. We don't know how you want to be contacted then.
Well, that was fun, because I
I got no response from-
I contacted Brant Johnson the same day.
Okay.
And he said that they told me they always went and got the paint for you and the weed killer. And then,
No, that's not true. I contacted Eric. Eric contacted the highway garage and told me to get in touch with Julie to get my supplies now.
yeah,
It's all changed. I'm just saying this is all new. I'm trying to get with the right people, doing the right things. We're doing this on,
I know.
with your supplies in our hands. So I was trying to reach out to you. You gave me no response. And it made me feel kind of, why am I even doing this? I do this, I'll tell you, because I love those bridges.
No, I
And
do too.
like you, Warren, love the history.
Mhm.
And I hate to see it destroyed.
Yeah.
We've come up on this bridge 4 years ago. We go, I don't know, can I ask the question, who took care of it before we came along? Do you guys
But-
have money for this bridge, these bridges?
I don't,
We have a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's getting here from there, but I'm saying they are on the tourism
mhm,
brochure.
right.
Eric takes pride in that brochure as well. He's worked with us. I have called him. Last year, we had that deliverance thing down there at the Severn Bridge. Weirdest thing I ever seen. So I made a makeshift, I can't think of it.
Take your time. Take your time.
Um,
I'm listening.
A screen?
A screen, thank you, Eric, thank you.
Well, you kept pointing there, that's the only thing.
Screen.
Yeah, they have put some kind of canvas up on the side of the.
Okay, watching movies is what I'm thinking, but maybe I'm wrong.
Your guess is as good as mine. Some kind of baby thing. It was weird.
Sure.
Eric took it from there and called the police.
Thank you,
So
Eric.
they took care of that. We removed a microwave from there. Also, I, came in one day and I talked to Mary, she was the only one present. Told her there was a refrigerator thrown down at Severn Bridge. I mean, this big black refrigerator just, I don't know what people think. I don't know why they keep doing this, but Mary took care of that, the refrigerator's gone. Okay, I picked up my paint after I got over to the highway garage, got the graffiti off of the covered bridge, which they went on the outside again with big red, they're going big red, orange, black, bold letters now. It was on the outside, I took the paint, I also have pictures, I take pictures all the time of what we do there, and what kind of destruction is there. I was used to contacting Steve Bonnens with this type of information.
Mhm.
He would then tell us what, we would tell him what we needed, we would go pick it up. We did not do the weed kill. We've been purchasing everything ourselves except for the paint and the brushes. We bought the lawnmower 4 years ago. We do our own weed eater. We buy all the need because this is what we wanted to do.
Mhm.
This year, the weed killer is crazy.
Oh, no.
And I called and asked the weed killer, and the lady at the highway department, Julie, said that, oh, we got better weed killer than you can buy, we'll do it. I've got pictures, it's not done yet. So
Really?
I was wanting to know when that would happen. Cause we take pride in it, we have a schedule, we're out there constantly trying to maintain this. The gravel, we got gravel, two loads of gravel, they put that for us. The grass grows up, it's just gonna take it back to nature. It
Oh,
looks
yeah.
terrible. It needs to be weed killed. Okay, I've had knee surgery, so we're kind of down and out, and we're behind on the weed eating, my husband, we're down. So who do we contact when we can't be there? I want to know who will do this when I can't be there. I'm just asking questions.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know, who will be there when I can't do this? We've been there for 4 years, and I had knee surgery, and I'm not quite ready to do that type of work yet. But we love it. But my husband, the only thing is he irritated because of the lack of communication.
mhm.
I like to work with you.
Yeah,
I text you when you got elected, and you email me, you text me right back.
mhm.
But when I had a need, I heard nothing. So maybe you don't like that kind of communication,
Well,
that's fine.
it's not that. I didn't know what was going on with that.
Well, you
so I
can
called-
explain that to me.
I called Julie
I was lost.
and talked to her and Brant about, said you guys always got the paint, or it's what Kay told me, that you got the paint through there. So I thought, well,
Well, I hope you can understand that was April the 27th, and no
mhm.
response, I seen you read it, but you never said, I'm taking care of it, I got it, anything like that, would have been great.
What?
Communication is
Yeah.
really
Well,
nice.
I didn't know nothing that the county even helped you on that. So,
You could have even asked, we
Yeah.
probably could have filled you in on what we did for the
Yeah.
last 4 years.
yeah.
I don't mean to be mean or straightforward, but this stuff has to be done as well.
Mhm.
I feel like it's important. Every time we were out at that bridge, there was somebody out there, either doing the barn quilt trail or the covered bridge trail. They love to be out there. There's a lot of family pictures taken out there.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're doing nice.
I know, I run the county grade all, and I held Jimmy Key out there, and they put that barn quilt on there. He was in the bucket of my grade all, I stuck him out there He
The
trusted
lady
me.
at the end of where we got Eric helped us get the picnic table, had to chain it to the ground so nobody would steal it.
Oh, yeah.
The whites, they help mow
Mhm.
when we're not there. And we went down there today and I took pictures and it's mowed, it's not weed eated yet. And then we went out to the Severance Bridge and you know what? That paint job that I did out there is completely bright orange. Well, you can just imagine, you've seen graffiti before.
Oh, yeah.
Bright orange all over my approach paths that, just,
Mhm.
Have you since repainted some of that or has anyone
yes, this was
repainted?
repainted, I just did it 2 weeks ago. Okay, so then the other thing I have is I know there was money spent for cameras, and this was supposed to take care of this problem. Well, who monitors the cameras? And it doesn't obviously take care of it.
Yeah.
I may not
And
have
first
any,
of all-
I may not have any answer for that, but I have a few responses to that. And gonna look into that for sure. But the way I understand it, we have cameras on Wheeling. We do not have cameras on Severance.
No. But we were told that there was all 3 bridges would have cameras, but
And
there's nothing.
when that was set up with the previous commissioners, and I'm not saying they were completely wrong or anything, but this is just the way they did it. They set it up to where it could be seen by a limited audience over in one of our buildings in our county. Now, what we would like to see happen, well, maybe I should say but I think most of us would want to consider this at least, is that we be able to monitor that, or at least this annex building have some access to that. If not the access here, but maybe even at the sheriff's department.
See, there is cameras out there though, huh?
Yeah, there's cameras out there, but.
I don't know what they would,
Eric
who would they would go to?
Eric had his hand up back here, I'm
Well,
sorry.
I can speak to the camera situation. There are cameras at the Red Bridge and at the Wheeling Bridge, not the Severance Bridge.
No.
And when they set it up, we have, or we're supposed to be able to monitor those at the Tourism Bureau and at Gibson County Economic Development. We have it's been very spotty as to how well that's worked from the time it's installed. We've had BCS come out several times to correct it or get them going again. We've not been able to see anything. Occasionally, we can still see a little bit of the White Bridge, but we haven't been able to see anything from the Red Bridge for quite some time.
Oh, really?
We called back in May. They were supposed to come out and correct the situation, take a look at it, and they didn't show up. We've not heard from them since. So, it's been a problem. I talked with the county development just this afternoon, and she said she's not been able to see anything for quite some time. So that's kind of the situation with the monitoring.
Mhm. So that tells us a lot about the cameras.
In my opinion, the position of this camera on Wheeling Bridge is ridiculous. I'm sorry. It's on the side of the road. You can only monitor one end. Well, you can go in at the other end and do all the graffiti you want, you're not gonna see. It doesn't, it's ridiculous in my opinion. That's what I think.
And it sounds like it's hit and miss on working at that. I mean, you
Yeah,
have one camera and it's hit and
exactly.
miss.
We've never really been able to review, even if we noticed that there was something on there, we couldn't run it back. And look, so it's not working.
Mhm.
My opinion was.
Paid a lot of money for those cameras, too. It's BCS's problem, really. I mean, somebody needs to get a hold of them and it's their.
Was I told
hard to deal with?
Okay, so it looks like I'm gonna have to call BCS and have a pretty firm talk with them.
Now, on the covered bridges, see, we paid for that, we paid for the internet and the electric out of the bridge, out of the covered bridge, but we're not allowed to spend money on the Severance Bridge, the covered bridge. So it's gonna have to come from the highway department, from the bridge fund, which they do have bridge.
It's considered a historic
Right.
in the frame of the type of bridge it is, but it's not in the same category as
It's
the covered
historical, but
bridges.
it's not covered, yeah. And we don't get any funds from the state for that, for historical bridges.
So my thing.
Marilyn,
Like,
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, I have no problem calling them. Sounds like it needs to be done.
yeah.
And so,
And one thing we found, and we dealt with this for this long, is once the paint, if it doesn't get covered up, it's like a free for all.
Yeah.
Just go in and they start. If they see that it's not being monitored or taken care of, they just go in there and go crazy. I've seen that in the last 4 years.
and if I'm hearing you right, Kay, that if we were to go with cameras for our other bridge, we'd have to take those funds from the highway department. Okay.
Bridge fund. Bridge fund.
The other side of it is, I'm not looking to set up a contract with BCS if they're not gonna take care of business.
It's been a problem, I don't know, I mean, it has been a problem. I have Jason's cell phone number, but he don't take calls from me because you don't hear what I have to say.
So
He's also got the security system that we got in the courthouse too, so we're not having the same problem there.
Most likely. Let me make a phone call on this and do some studies. This may be, it is gonna be something that we have to continue to work on and bring up at our next meeting.
I understand, and I know that's not just something that's done like that, I understand all that. But my original idea that I shared with the former commissioner was to have motion sensor lights all the way down the center of the bridge and a camera at both ends. Something, he's gonna let it get shot out. Well, there's also bulletproof things I'm sure you can get covered. Why not spend on something that's gonna actually work instead of going through all this, paying for all the paint, all the labor that, well, you're not paying me, but it does get tiring, it really does.
Say the cameras do go to the tourism. The cameras aren't,
Yes, it's set up to the feed, we should be able to see the feed as well as we have development.
okay.
If they don't record.
We've never been able to.
Where they're not, when they're doing the graffiti.
Mhm.
But I thought the lights, when they walk in, they would light them up, and of course, they're probably doing it at dark.
Right.
They would light them up, and then they'll be on camera both ends. I don't know, that was just my suggestion, but across the road does not. I mean, have you been out there to see that?
Not for a while, I haven't been out
Where
there.
the electric pole was and.
It's on the side of the road, at one end.
Right, I mean,
That's all you can see, but like I said, you could walk around to the other end of the bridge and walk through it and do whatever you want. Go back out that way, I mean, nobody's gonna see you.
You know, on those motion sensor lights too, you could almost set them up at both entryways, at the end of each bridge. I'm not sure you have to go all the way down the middle. I mean, you could, I'm not saying you couldn't, but just where the motion's gonna be and where the people are. And like you
Well,
said,
they graffiti in the middle, I mean, they repainted all that, they professionally painted, I don't know, how many departments did all that? Okay, but anyway, they repainted all the graffiti on the inside as well. And so I mean, yeah, it looked good, it was clean slate,
Now, Matt, aren't they looking to redo that bridge, the steel bridge right there?
Yeah, that bridge was very massaged in 2004. Since that Federal project, we actually went after, we made the repair to the wheel and covered bridge, and we were denied the Federal project.
But what I was saying, that the regular road bridge is gonna be out for too long,
In 24.
24.
I think I submitted that 20, so 24, 25. It's 24, 25 is getting replaced, yes.
So anyway, the main thing, the reason why I'm here is because I'm not ready to give it up, my husband is. My
Yeah,
husband is ready, I can't do it by myself. So I guess I really need just an answer on who can I get to mow the bridge until we get this motor. I'll buy me a new motor. But who can do this for me until I get this done and I'm able to do this?
does, that garden society, they come out anymore? There used to be a garden society.
Master gardeners.
Yeah, master gardeners.
They don't have power, but they still need to be maintained.
Yeah,
I mean.
Well, I don't know
Planning.
who's on that anymore.
I don't either.
And I can just speak, I don't want to speak for the master gardeners, but I know in other situations, I think they have a lot of projects and maybe two members to cover all the projects that people would like to request from them. I know that's been our past experience.
Yeah.
So They're probably stretched pretty thin.
Yeah, Margot.
Just a comment, the Red Bridge is mowed by my family. We've done it for years. Any kind of mowing, pulling, painting, we do get paint from someone. We've done all that for years.
You know, they provide our paint and our brushes, we have done everything else.
Yeah.
We have paid for everything else. But I'm just saying my mower is down right now, I can't run it right now. So I'm just asking, who could help mow that down, if you wanna look? That's a Severance Bridge, too much to
Yeah.
weed eat.
Yeah, it is. Now, do you have one to the covered bridge?
Yeah, I got it.
I mean, I live at Francisco, so,
This was the graffiti that
yeah.
is at the Blue Bridge,
Mhm,
Severance. That's the bag of trash, right where the,
mhm.
they threw it right over, that's where the, refrigerator was. At the other end. At the other end of the Severance Bridge needs to be mowed. We did all that. This is what I just repainted. It's just the sides, they're on the sides now. How does,
Sad.
here's the bridge, the Willing Bridge. There's all the grass and the
Mhm.
gravel. That was all gone. It was all gravel. It was so nice. Because you guys said that they would.
Yeah.
Do it. Julie said that they would do it. And now it's all, I just want to know, when was that gonna be done?
Yeah,
Time frame. I mean. you know,
When did you
grass
talk
grows, how
to-
weed grows.
When did you talk to Julie? Has that been a while now?
What, a couple weeks ago?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So we probably need to give her a little reminder, friendly reminder that these folks take pride in this area and would like to get out there and take care of the
But she said that
weeds.
They have more powerful, and I'm sure y'all do, but you know, we were doing the roundup thing, and we had it down and it was down now. This is my husband, that he, this gravel. Because he worked hard to get that gravel, and Steve, I guess they had the money to do it, and they put new gravel down. And they laid even a little extension, it's really nice, the approach up to that. And now it's all full grass, so.
Kenny, if you want to look into the weed
I
killer
will.
issue.
I
And
will. I'll get hold of,
I'll call this BCS company with the cameras and
yeah, cause I don't,
But
I would-
as far as the communication, that's the only.
well, I'm sorry about that.
There was no communication back.
Yeah,
I'm the one doing the work.
yeah,
It seemed like you would want to talk to me.
Yeah.
maybe,
well,
But then.
you know, you sent that message, wanna know what, you know, where you could get the,
And want to know if this was a good line of communication.
yeah.
And
And
that's all, I just needed to know.
so, cause I didn't know what was going on. You said about the covered bridge at Wheeling. So I asked Kay and she said, yeah, the county always supplies that. So that's when I called Julie. And she said, yeah, they said, we'll just go get the paint and what the weed killer and,
Yeah, but me, I didn't
Yeah.
know none of that was going on.
yeah.
We are.
I'm sorry
we are
about that.
active in this. That's okay. I apologize. But we really do like the way it looks. We like to keep it looking good.
Oh, yeah,
And so any help there that you can help that out a little more. I sure would appreciate it right
okay.
now. Do you
And
have any idea on who can mow that, or does the highway department do any of that?
The thing is, they're chipping and sealing right now, so that's kind of. I don't have a push mower. I could weed eat it all and I'd even go get some 2,4-D and I'd spray all that. You know, instead of using Roundup, because that only lasts like 3 months and it comes right back.
But that's all we can buy.
Yeah, I know. But you get some 2,4-D, it's supposed to be, or get a ground clear. And it'll just do away with it forever.
Well, I don't think you want bare ground, that washes away, and
Huh?
I don't think you want bare ground.
No, I mean, you're talking about,
in the
I
rock.
was talking about in the rock,
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I was thinking seven.
because I have to do my driveway all the time, you know,
Yeah, we deal with it too.
yeah,
It's done on a regular basis, so when we were out there
right,
doing it, they're, they would die. And
yeah.
add to that.
Oh, we wouldn't do the
Now it's just
grass, just in the rock.
3 foot underneath the cover, or the picnic table and all
Yeah.
that, but we do take pride in this. Like I said, my husband's a little ticked off right now. I'm not ready to give it up.
Yeah,
And I would never walk away when I am ready to give it up. I would let somebody know
yeah,
that it's being unattended. That's who we are. But I really care about this stuff, so
yeah,
any help that you can give right now,
will do.
I appreciate it.
I'll even go out and do some of it. I mean,
Well,
I'll take my weed eater.
I can't work it right now.
Yeah.
So I'm still, recouping, not quite there yet.
Greatly appreciate you taking
Yes,
pride.
I
in it.
do.
And
I do.
also appreciate you bringing us to our attention. And would invite you back to our next meeting if you could attend. Third Tuesday of this month at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
And we'll have some answers there for you unless they treat me like this one group. Just to give you a little heads up, I called this one engineering firm. And talked about what project they're in charge of. It's something that was done years ago. And the guy just acted like he wasn't gonna get in touch with me. So anyhow, had to pay him a visit, but so we will get to the bottom of it and find something out on this BCS stuff for you.
Yeah, 'cause it's,
We will.
Because it's worthless right now.
Right.
yeah.
Absolutely worthless.
You take pride in it. I understand it completely. Mrs. Vanover, did you have something?
Yeah, I don't know, Eric's sitting here and I just, I'm not just dropping this on here, but I feel like, because we're working on trying to market and promote Gibson County, that we should be doing some sort of community project. Something like having a group that does community projects that could help her when she's down, or just kind of connecting some businesses.
Like an adopt a bridge kind of program?
Not Adopt a bridge, but just community projects that we're doing in Gibson County to beautify and to make Gibson County better. I feel like that's something the tourism and the chamber and probably economic development, we're trying to figure out the best ways to do that. And this could be something that falls within that purview. If we can make, just to have a list of projects that need to be done and trying to connect people to those projects kind of thing. So I don't know if that's something the commissioners would do or, you know, people who are already doing projects in the community who need help, how do we connect them with those helpers? So,
How do we get that out to the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts? Yeah.
yeah. And I'm sure Eric is the same way. We could try to figure out a better process to help those people who are already taking pride in our community, help them out better.
This may be a good starting point, and I just throw out the adopt a bridge idea because we've had adopt a highway, projects and.
Adopt a ditch.
Adopt a ditch,
I think we just need to
adopt a ditch.
start taking.
Go
more
down to the
pride.
county garage, you'll see it.
Those ideas in my head. That doesn't even.
I'm telling you, it's there.
Yeah. Right.
Okay,
It is.
apparently ditches are adopted here. Okay. Okay. That's a first. So anyhow, but in all sincerity, I think, that'd be a neat project that we could maybe take on. Give that some thought, Eric, and I'll do the same. Maybe we could bring something together like that. Never say never at this point.
Yeah.
Especially if it's going to beautify the community.
Now, Mike, don't we have a medical leave we have to sign tonight? Oh, okay.
And we didn't have all the paperwork in for it, so.
Okay.
I'll move on down to the covered bridge certification. Thank you, sir. Do we need to put this to motion, Mr. Watkins?
Yeah.
That's it.
We have before us a covered bridge certification request, and I would entertain a motion to accept this.
We have to certify it to the state to keep the covered bridges, keep getting a little bit of money that we get. I'll make a motion to
I'll
approve the
second it then.
certification.
Okay, motion made in a second. There's a place for all signature. Send that down the line. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. So we are trying to get you some funds there. Keep the funds coming, what little we have for our covered bridge anyway. Discussion on the national holiday Juneteenth. Do we have someone here to discuss that or?
Well, I mean, other than this year, the federal government made it a national holiday. And we usually adopt any national holidays.
There you go.
And basically, are we going to add that to our holiday calendar?
I see. Now, do we have a motion to adopt that into our calendar?
Also move.
And a second.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Logistically, what does that mean? Is that a holiday for?
June 19th.
Yeah.
Juneteenth,
Yeah, Juneteenth.
June
Okay.
19th, so going
not
forward.
the
it'll be county
19th,
number.
Juneteenth. It,
Courthouse will be
Yeah.
open.
no, it'd be closed. It'd be just like the 4th of July or
National. Mhm.
it's federal holiday. This year was the first one. I mean, they did it right at the last minute.
Friday before it was on Saturday.
Yeah, I agree. Do we have anything else before the commissioners this evening?
I think we'll have Jack, he's gonna retire, so we'll make his.
Jack's birthday.
No, he'll, yeah. No, he's retiring. He just wants a party.
Yeah.
I don't know, anything for us, Jack? Okay.
I'm good.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn at this point.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Uh,
Aye. Thanks for coming.